If you're under 13, you're not allowed to see this. You're banned. You can't look at it. Go on, shoo. Get out of here. Why are you still here? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Meet Your Makers, the show where I interview developers who helped me out with a game that is currently facing issues. Now what's going on is volume issues, where the sound effects are incredibly loud and the dialogue is a little quiet. So, to sort of break this down, I have an HP Pavilion desktop that I got from Walmart. And it actually, I heard it's the worst for gaming, but it served me pretty well actually. I made so much stuff with it, even this episode I'm making on this computer. This is what the game sounds like. Okay, not bad. It's balanced-ish, I guess. Now, this is my other computer, what I got from Amazon. This gaming computer, which I tried it out, and this throughout the entire game, this is what the sound effects sounded like. Huh? Ugh. Now this raises a few questions. Is it the game itself? Is it this gaming computer that's the problem? Thanks to a few friends who helped me out on GameJolt, I found out that the power supply is made from a company called Channel Weld Technology, which I've never even heard of before. I'm currently working on a fix, but let's continue with the show because I kept my guest waiting long enough. He has made some artwork for one of the badges, he made some music for the game, and has voice acted 3 characters for it. He has quite a few games on his page, and is currently working on his latest game for his Through the Fragmentation series, which I highly recommend you guys check out. I absolutely love the colors in this game, and the entire city is populated with bird people. Oh. So, everyone give a warm welcome to Mata Probowski.
Hello. Thanks for having me in the show.
Alright, here's your first question. If you were in a battle, and all you had was a vegetable for a weapon, what vegetable would it be, and how would you use it?
This is quite a tricky question for a start, isn't it? You know, the first problem is that I'm not sure what kind of battle are we talking about. I mean, how many enemies am I going to face? Or do I have any companions in the battle? Am I represented in this situation as my real self? And last but not least, where this battle is going to happen? As you can see, I'm full of questions, but without any clues, I would choose a carrot, because it's not heavy and probably wouldn't cumber me in my aspiration of flying away from the battle. And later on, it could be a healthy snack in a hopefully safer place.
Is something funny, Zack? Okay, next question. What's the best... One more word out of you, and you're fired! What's the best game you ever played so far?
You mean objectively, from a technical aspect, right? Then I think I would say Thief the Metal Age. It's not necessarily my all-time favorite, but despite the fact that it's 2 decades old, which is really obvious by the way if you look at the graphics, I still admire the fantastic vision of the creators and the technical implementation. The sound and the level designs, and most importantly, the overall game design, are still top-notch even by today's standards. And, well, it's just an almost perfect example how to design cautiously a solid game.
Out of all 3 characters you voiced in the game, which character was the hardest to do?
Well, that's easy. Felix was the hardest, because I had to do a voice like this, and try to stay in a more or less consistent accent in the same time, which probably failed.
Oh no, you've done a perfect job. What's your favorite game genre?
Ooh, that's probably immersive sim, which is more like a design philosophy. Actually, the already mentioned Thief the Metal Age is a pretty good example. One of the fundamental parts of the genre is the organic and nonlinear environment that reacts to the player's presence in a believable way. So for example, enemies are not only there to jump out of nowhere and annoy the hell out of you. The other one is that the game practically lets you roleplay through problem solving. So you can approach every task completely the way you want. I mean, the way that is technically possible inside of a video game, obviously.
What advice would you give to people who want to start developing video games?
Well, first of all, be really, and I mean really, patient with yourself, because actual quality content unfortunately needs lots of time and you probably won't succeed at first try. 2. Don't be afraid of creating something that genuinely reflects on yourself and your ideas or your true feelings. If you are inspired by another game, that's totally okay. But be aware of that there are just too many games out there that follow a dull trend and look completely the same. So if you want to be noticed, then I think you need to be authentic as much as possible. 3. Be supportively and genuinely part of an active community. Unfortunately, lots of solo developers don't really understand the importance of this and think their games are just going to be discovered magically. But if you want to see people caring about your content, then, and I'm sure this is the hardest part for some, you need to care about theirs too.
That was very motivating. It looks like that's it for the questions, so everybody give him a big round of applause. Thanks again guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!